Academics.
Yo, I forgot I was watching the live stream like about 10 minutes behind, so I just seen you say that.
Hey, but what do you think of my assessment that the Drake side of the Republicans and the Kendrick side of the Democrats?
Hey, yo, I just seen that, and I'm like, yo, listen, man, no matter what they say about Adam, man, this is why I do watch you. Because you are logical. I actually agree with that wholeheartedly. That was a great. When you said it, I'm like, fuck, I wish I said that. No, but I'm going to tell you why you're right. Because, like, I mean, exactly what you expounded about, when it comes to like everybody who likes Kendrick, it's like, oh, it's more of like a Democrat. By the way, they frame everybody who supports Drake as like how they talk about Trump supporters. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, you guys are nuts. You guys are supporting this other bullshit. It's like, you're completely right with that, even though, you know what I mean? I just don't think that's the same correlation, but it's exactly how people see the hip hop.
Yeah, and I think that the counter narrative to a lot of the sort of elitism that has come along with what Kendrick has been putting out there is basically like, y'all are idealists who want music that isn't inherently reacting with the people to be more popular than the music that actually is reacting with the people. Whereas if you're a Drake fan, you're just acknowledging like, yeah, all this shit that is really, apparently extremely popular with people, we think it is good. And we think that the fact that it is popular is enough of a reason for us to praise it.
For sure.
Even beyond our own personal opinions. For sure.
I'm going to tell you why a Kamala supporter is basically like a Kendrick fan. Because essentially, if you are excited, and there's a bunch of people excited for Kamala, right?
Right.
Not realizing that maybe she wasn't a president, but she was pretty much in office for the last 4 years. She had a position in the administration, right? And they feel something's going to change. Just like, I'm going to be honest with you, Kendrick dropped that last song that nobody remembers.
Bingo.
He's like, yo, we got to change hip hop, and this is going to happen. Here's the thing. Kendrick kind of says this every 4 years. It's changed. You get
every
what I'm saying?
4 years.
Like, y'all really try to shit on Lush's point, but Lush was making a great point.
Thank you, Ak.
No, I'm serious. He was making a great point about, like, maybe potentially Kendrick gatekeeping. Yo, so if Kendrick has the pop out, features, gangs this and third, and then on the next song he says, yo, people who is doing bullshit in the communities, he's kind of almost describing gangs. He's saying, we got to get those people out of there. He doesn't necessarily support what he represents, right? We don't see him feature with other conscious rappers that are maybe like in the realm of his, you know what I mean? If they don't have a name.
Yeah, where's the Russell feature? Where's the Russell feature, K-Dot?
No, I agree with that. I agree with that wholehearted. But again, this is the thing, and for everybody who likes Kamala, it's about the feeling of what they're saying that makes you feel good rather than actually believing things are going to change. Like right now, I think a lot of people support Kamala, but the thing is, she makes us feel good. I don't know if she's going to do anything that's going to make it good, right? Trump doesn't make us feel good. And those people who like Kendrick, it kind of reminds them of that, yo, we're going back to this culture where bars matter. Yo, bars matter. We're going to go to this ethical culture where drill music is out of here. Like, he's kind of almost talked about that. What's that line he has in the song? He says like pillow talking, I'm causing like culture wars or neighborhood wars. And he was kind of almost talking about the culture, which is, hey, listen, music is a 360 view. Whatever someone says in music, they go on an interview, they go on No Jumper, they talk about, but their life reflects that. And it's all like this 360 view of, yeah, if they're making drill music, yeah, something might happen in real life. He basically was saying, let's abolish it, except I don't think he's just blowing hot air.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, exactly.
Because he could be doing a lot more to like institute the type of rap scene that he is apparently advocating for.
He didn't pop out. He ain't helped nobody from the pop out as of late. We haven't seen nobody pop out with a Kendrick feature.
And if he were to put out a project and give a verse to any of those dudes who are up there, their career is all of a sudden like made off of that one
100%.
feature, and we don't really see that.
Matter of fact, we never even got that "Not Like Us" remix we were promised featuring LA rappers. What happened with that?
That's coming.
And by the way, have we ever seen a rapper who basically used, and again, when I'm saying use, I'm not saying like it's predatorial, but he used culture. He used traditions. He used, the togetherness and the collectiveness and the unity of even some of the gangs within LA to get to the spot. Obviously, he did his own thing with the song, and a lot of people say he won the beef. But here's the thing: he has zero pressure. Like even the guys in there, no one's like, "Yo, why you ain't tweet my album out? Yo, why you ain't just throw me up on the story? Why can't There's zero requirements. Nothing.
No finger play.
Hip hop history.
Yeah.
Usually when you get to that spot where you have all the Infinity Stones, people start with what you didn't do for them, as opposed to, I don't need nothing from you. I've never seen I don't know if he feels it behind the scenes, like the handouts. Like, he's the only rapper I've never seen people expect handouts or expect him to repay any type of loyalty to.
Because it's such a blessing to even be associated with the name of this, bestowed presence of Kendrick Lamar.
But we've all seen that dynamic over the years, that when you're around an artist who's really, truly lit, people will be so thankful to even be in the same room as him. Like, most of those artists on Opium never got a Cardi feature, and they're so thankful regardless, because Cardi is so huge that they're just thankful as fuck to even be associated with him in any way, that they don't even hold him to the same standard that they would expect of like a normal human being.
Facts.
Where you got Lil Baby that features on all this artist shit.
Cardi's sharing the platform with them. Like, I'm telling you, if Kendrick now, I promise you, you guys have, there's so much different styles and sounds and pockets of like, LA, Greater LA, or like Cali, that he could just like instantly make popular. Like, this is mainstream. Yep. Bro, he could snap a finger. This is like Thanos with all 5 Infinity Stones, and he's like, I'll wait till Super Bowl till my album drops. Like, nothing. Like, if you ask why, we haven't seen a little bit more progress on the West Coast, you got to blame Kendrick a little bit. But here's the thing. I keep calling hip-hop Jesus.
I was thinking about the Jesus thing too. They treat him like Jesus, right? Like, because, that's one thing I always say when I have an argument about religion, is I'll say, listen, in the Bible, it's full of all these examples of God making his presence so unbelievably obvious to people that of course they're going to believe in God. My entire lifetime, I've never seen anything that overtly made me believe that Jesus was real. And it's like but people who are Christians will say, you're expecting too much of Jesus if you think that he's just going to make it obvious to you that he exists. And people are like that with Kendrick too, where it's like, we feel like it would make sense for him to take part in some pretty obvious, like, examples or symbolic gestures to make it clear that he really wants hip hop to change in this way. And people think that he's so important that you can't even ask for the bare minimum from
Facts. Kendrick ain't getting nobody pregnant without fucking him, period. You feel me? Like,
hey, let me tell you this. I gotta give Kendrick credit, because Kendrick has somehow confused us and lied to us that he is the anti-industry. He's still the fight the power. I'm protesting in front of the police, stepping on people's necks. When in reality, I could make a point that Kendrick kind of seems like, in the large scheme of things, like he's part of the program. He just has the people's support. Like, I mean, the dude who usually has the talking points of Kendrick is the guy that gets none of the goddamn like opportunities. He's performing at the Super Bowl, right? He's performing at the Super Bowl. He's at every Grammy Award for the last like 5 years. You have to realize the reason why even Drake stopped submitting his music, because they would just give Kendrick a thing before the shit started. And Kendrick, you got like 3 this week. All right, come on, cool. So again, it's interesting how Kendrick has convinced us that he is anti-industry, while every industry facet that recognizes hip hop holds him up to a level and awards him and compliments him for being this like deity, like he's like God.
And that's the greatest trick that Kendrick ever played, was convincing the world that in order to be a Drake fan, you also had to basically be anti-progress, you have to be basically like pro-ignorance in hip-hop. He's turned himself into a symbol of everything that is good in hip-hop, while realistically doing and living very little of that.
Well, and that's the craziest part is he's basically, like you said, the Trump-Kamala comparison. Now, if you're a Trump supporter, you're a racist.
Yeah, so, exactly. It's the same exact trick. Yeah,
exactly. And
we've been watching the Republicans do that our whole lives, where it's like, oh, you support George W. Bush? Well, he's a hate monger,
right?
And it's like years have gone by, being a hate monger. It's kind of hard to justify that opinion. It's like you go back and you watch a video of George Bush, and you'll be like, why the fuck did we all believe that this guy was this racist nincompoop?
And not only that, you as a supporter are now a racist, because it's not just he's a racist, now you are as a supporter.
Well, you can point to Bush, but we're not going to do that right now. That's a long conversation.
Ups and downs,
hey, as I'm saying, man, I'm watching. Kendrick is giving a master class in how to co-opt culture. And once you've co-opted culture, to have them believe that you are leading them and you're operating in a way that, hey, you're like some holistic, I'm only doing it for the people. But I've said before, Jay-Z did the same thing. Jay-Z convinced us everything he was doing was for the culture. Then he just fucked around and became a billionaire overnight. He tells Jermaine Dupri, bro, I'm standing on the other side with Colin Kaepernick until Jermaine Dupri says, all right, bet I won't do the deal with the NFL. Jay-Z swoops in, takes it. You know what I mean?
Nah, facts.
But at least though, we knew that Jay-Z was a hustler from day one, because he came in the game talking about selling birds, flipping work. We knew that he had a hustle and finesse.
I mean, Drake has always been pretty transparent about his desire to be the best, whereas Kendrick keeps his ambitions under wraps.
That's what I'm saying. Kendrick came in like with this whole holistic agenda, like you said.
Yeah.
Jay, we already knew. He came, reasonable doubt, he sold more crack than any rapper in history damn near on that album.
Yeah.
So
I don't think this changes. I'm watching to see what's going to happen. But again, I feel bad for the West Coast artists who probably, this is how great, again, Kendrick's just done a great job. They probably look like an asshole to even ask for a feature, because they know he's not going to give it. So you can't ask Jesus for shit. You got to wait till he gives you. You get what I'm saying? You remember back in the day, Meek and Dirk would be like, fuck these niggas. They won't even tweet my album. Because rappers do feel like that. They expect shit. Except with Kendrick, it's like everyone has the patience of, you don't ask Kendrick for shit. He gives you when you are ready and you deserve it.
Wow. Yeah, imagine Absol snapping on Kendrick the way that Meek did to Wale when he didn't tweet his album.
Let's not say that Drake doesn't do the same thing, though. You can't ask Drake for shit. Well, you ready? You deserve it?
It's kind of true.
He just does more.
Yeah, he just does it more.
He fucks with more young artists. He fucks with more artists he doesn't have any real association with. But keep in mind,
to steal their style.
How many songs has Kendrick put out with, what's his name? The motherfucker's son? Baby Keem, versus working with other random ass artists from LA that he believes in. He chooses to save the sauce for his artists that he's profiting from.
And Keem's his family, right? That's his family member.
Very unpopular opinion, and I'm gonna let you guys keep cooking because I'm watching y'all. Listen. Very unpopular opinion. Kendrick's whole thing with Drake was fueled by jealousy. Kendrick clearly wanted to be the man, which, by the way, right now, he is the man. This is what he always wanted. He wanted to be the guy who has the most, I'm not going to call it clout, but the number one rapper. And I do think if he drops an album now, he would outsell Drake if Drake dropped an album now. He finally, but he never wanted to do the things that Drake did. Drake would find a new artist, hop on their, collaborate, hop on their wave.
I can give him that.
Do things to kind of further his, foothold in a lot of different communities, or it would increase his relevance. Kendrick has always just been on, I'm not compromising this woke shit. I'll do a few things, but not as much as him. And his whole battle was saying, Drake, you're biting culture by doing the things that it took you to get number one. But secretly, I felt from Control, he wanted to be number one. Okay, now you're number one. How do you play it? And this is what gonna tell. It's gonna tell the true character of Kendrick. And as I said, man, listen, there is no Jesus on earth currently. So over time, the people will see something. They will see something that reveals his true color. It might just take a while.
When you try to virtue signal, you're basically inviting everybody to come poke holes in this persona that you've invented for yourself. So I feel like with Kendrick's next project, it's just going to be like held to such a crazy bar because so many people are paying attention to it and expecting certain things from him. And it's going to be blatantly obvious if he doesn't deliver. The same way that last song having like basically no impact, the lack of impact stood out so much because of how gigantic Not Like Us was. And it's almost like everybody forgot how this is a guy who just has not made a lot of songs that sound like Not Like Us.
That record was so unimpactful that it almost doesn't affect him because people don't even know it exists.
Yeah.
That's how bad it was.
It's good to remind everybody that Kendrick can make songs nobody cares about as well.
Well, I mean, we haven't seen
that shit he just dropped was
Kendrick says there's the superpower of Drake has been neutralized. I think Kendrick has a superpower right now. We just don't know if it exists if he's not battling or he's not beefing with Drake. Everything about Kendrick has the backdrop of good and evil. Yo, Drake is pop. He's this, guy who you have framed as a culture vulture. You're like the truest. Now, how do you create energy without having a villain? You get what I mean? Like you guys talked about it. I think it happened. It happened on No Jumper when you talked to Rainwater. Rainwater said, "Yo, a lot of these guys, like they fall off after their op dies." Well, could Kendrick play this Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers? Unless you were like, maybe queer or trans yourself, you probably like. Well, no, I'm serious. Like you probably listen to the album and be like, "Yo, this nigga needs some therapy." Like, yo, in reality. Could Kendrick take that energy, not make it about Drake? And by the way, I think his new thing is going to be, obviously he knows he can't make it about Drake because he's going to seem thirsty. Drake's not responding to him. He's going to just try this angle he tried on the last song. He's just trying to do a catchier version. Yo, I'm here to save the culture. He's doing what Nas did in 2000, I believe, 8. Hip-hop is dead.
Yeah, he's right. I know I can be what I want to be. Yeah, exactly. Yep.
In reality, that angle never works. Hip hop goes forward. It never goes back. It's like when
trapping ain't dead.
In a rut talking about, y'all gotta stop sounding like Atlanta. Yo, we gotta start sounding like the 90s again. That's what we're popping. No, y'all have to die off and let the new kids come. And you need a Pop Smoke. Music doesn't go back. Like there's never a time to be like, yo, let's start rapping like the 70s again. No. A lot of this is based on forward progress, and if we're talking about forward progress, Kendrick is trying to revert the culture or trying to fool people by thinking that he could create a time that hip hop was like glorious, and we could go back to it. It'll never get back there.